Well, Sam and Bob, this is it. This is our $600. Here's the king, Jim Lyles, up on lane 7. This is the finale at the Super Bowl. In Erlanger, that is. The king delivers. The king takes 9 and a ooh.
Yeah, Jim's a manager out of Kingpin, where we'll be the following. We go to Brentwood, and we go to Kingpin the following week.
The king from Kingpin.
That's right.
In practice, Sam, I thought Jim probably had the best shot going of the group. He doesn't hook the ball quite as much as the other bowlers. He's more of a line bowler. And I feel he's going to be hard to beat in this game.
He'll be tough.
Now here we got a fellow right here. I don't know if our viewers heard the round of applause and the cheer for this fellow when he made his last delivery after match 2. But boy, he has a contingent here today. Chris Wood, who has won 2 so far.
Get in!
And he starts the same way. But Jim Lyle has his followers here also.
Well, you know, our cameraman, Jack Ray Fox's boy, Barron broke his leg last week. He's home recuperating now. He's doing real good.
Ray Fox's boy?
Yeah, Barron, yeah.
When did that happen?
Last week he broke his leg.
So we're even Steven, fellas. All right. Super Bowl, Erlanger, Super Bowl 16 coming up. You folks sitting at home, you just don't switch that dial. You just leave it where it is from now till sign-off time. Because at 2 o'clock, special Super Bowl program, then the Super Bowl at 4, then more Super Bowl programs tonight.
Jack, I'm sure because this is Sunday, you're going to be home watching that today, aren't you?
Yes, I am not in Pontiac. I'll be sitting home with my wife, Barb, and daughter Danielle. Danielle's becoming a football addict now. She has to be. Her father has been indoctrinating her with football all week.
Jack, I said that a little tongue-in-cheek. You'll be down at the station all day, aren't you?
Well, I am going to watch the football game at home, then back down to the station.
I know you've had to have a hectic week with, I guess, almost everybody's up in Pontiac, except
yes.
You and 1 or 2 of the other people down
John Popovich, or Popo as I call him. We're going to be, we have held down the home fort, and John and I will be sitting down there again from all afternoon and on the air with you.
How sweet it is.
I know there'll be quite a few of us down there will be glad to see this all end come tomorrow when the Bengals return.
Victorious, I hope.
Oh, I have no qualms, Bob. They're going to go back a winner.
Well, out Northwest Lanes this week, Gary Fox rolled a triplet at 245. How about that one?
A triplicate of 245?
245, that's right. Monday night he did that.
Sam, is that the highest in town?
No, there's a few higher than that one.
Hey, look at Jim Lyle, our king. He doesn't want to give up that title. We'll give that question in a minute again for you folks at home.
Yeah, I guess Dave Holland and Terry Williams enjoy that double that Jimmy got.
Who's going on the other side, Bob?
Well, he needs to get started. I don't think he can hold off to the last couple of frames in this match. I kind of think Jimmy's going to be off and running.
Jimmy throws a good line ball, like you said, Bob, previous. So he's going to be tough.
I was a little surprised. He was playing pretty much straight down 10-11 when he was in practice, and he's moved out a little bit.
That looks good. Hit that 7? Nope. Here 'tis, pardon me a second, Bob, who won that Greater Cincinnati Women's Division of the U.S. Open qualifier held on October 25th. Send those cards to Mystery Quiz, 1821 Summit Road, room 216, Cincinnati 45237. A gift certificate from Fassel's Bowling Supply. Wow, that lane was almost too long, Bob.
I noticed Chris moved in a little deeper that time. Actually, was inside the third arrow on that shot.
Well, after continuous rolling on this pair, I guess their lanes are going to become a little more slower, I guess, and that's why they're starting to move in.
Especially with the lights, too. It tends to evaporate the oil a little bit, so they're changing maybe a bit more rapidly than they normally do in league bowling.
Well, we're in high altitude here, too, you know. Oh.
Turkey time for Jim.
Do a last on that one, I'll tell you.
He's giving us a little show up there on the lane.
He's loose, I'll say that.
See, last week he was very colorful. He was running out every shot.
That do help, I'll tell you.
Here we go, top of the 5th. Boy, he's pulling away, too. You can see where his stance is. That's a down and in shot from where he's standing.
Come on, talk to it!
Couldn't roll him any better than that, could you?
No, he was straight down about the 8th board, and it was just maybe a shade wider than he's had the other ones. But and again, that's when it comes up behind the head pin, and the 6th topples into the gutter.
I wonder how it goes around that 10.
He had it in the area, though, I'd say that. He was there.
I find it easy when I'm watching to see how it happens. When I leave him, it's I can't understand it.
You can't? Really? That's what makes this game fascinating.
Cross lane shot, he's right there. And we'll be right back after the bowlers take a little rest. Well, after the officials called that timeout, both teams are back out on the field and we're ready to resume play. Chris Woods, his 5th frame, and he needs a lot of X's. He's had but 1. Nope, I thought he was going to sneak in the back door. All of a sudden, he's lost his strike brigade.
He's still very close to the pocket. He really hasn't had much of a break on those last 2 shots. He's close enough that he's got a shot at coming in and finishing maybe as strong as he did before. Right now, it looks like he's about 22 pins down.
Exactly, Bob. 99 to 77 in the 4th.
And we're halfway through. But he was, let's see, in that first match with Alan Downs, he was about 20 pins down in the 3rd frame, Sam.
That's right, yeah.
Like gangbusters. Of course, Alan Downs started blowing his spares.
Well, he was 20 down in the 6th frame against Henderson to come on strong.
That's when he put that 4 in a row.
He's close.
Twice that's happened to him.
That's 3 straight shots. He threw the ball very well and just didn't get the break.
You know, Bob, and Sam, you'll verify this too. Bowling is skill and a lot of luck. You got to have some luck with this skill.
Like I always say, to be lucky than good any time.
He really takes that angle shot for that 10.
Well, you get out to your favorite BPA today and get a little practice, get sharp. After the Super Bowl, do a little practicing.
Well, here's our king standing there. You know, his first time on last Sunday at Western Bowl, Bob, he looked so relaxed. You never know it was his first time on television.
Jack, I was watching him hitch up his pants and go through all those little motions that a bowler you see do when he's bowling, league bowling or practicing, but you don't normally see that on the television show. He just looks extremely comfortable up there. But you know, some people are hams, Jack.
I talked to him last week before he started. He said he seemed nervous, but I said, you got to stay loose. And little red eyes do tricks to you sometimes, but he bowled super last week.
Notice he switches balls for his spares, too.
That's a 22-pin spread in the 5th, 118 to 96. They're both on spares.
I think from here on out, Sam, it's going to be a matter of who's going to carry it, because they both seem to have the line to the pocket.
Well, they're roundy. They're in the area, I'd say. Pins are not cooperating too good yet.
Don't forget qualifying next Saturday at Brentwood, starting at 8 a.m. But the match next Sunday will be at Princeton Bowl. We'll tell you the bowlers uno momento.
Come on now, carry one!
You ever see so many 10 pins hang in this game, huh?
You just can't throw the ball any better than he threw that one. That was just a super shot at Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday.
That's perfecto. Kevin Johnson, Rick Pollard, Rick Erschwender, and either Jim or Chris will be at Princeton Bowl. Jim says I should shoot this one blindfolded. I've been pecking at it all this game. This is about the third time he's taken a shot at that 10 pin. Of course, this fellow can say the same thing. Well, Chris Wood's contingent in back of us.
If he's going to make a move, now's the time.
They're telling him, come on, let's go to work.
As the Super Bowl would say, this is the fourth quarter, we got to go.
Time is running out on the clock, huh?
Down to the 5-minute mark.
Only here it's frames. Oh, no. Still high.
23 pins now.
Yeah, he's
That's
picking
right.
up. Jim has added another pin. So the way it stands right now, with only 3 frames to go, Jim Lyle may be back again next week. Looking down here, both bowlers have been filling frames.
Chris has got a possible 224 left out here if he can strike out the last 3 frames.
But look at the difference. The turkey by Jim Lyle from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and Chris has had but one of those things. That came in the 3rd frame. Chris just hasn't had that strike ball. He's been in the area, but not carrying.
Close again.
He went out too far.
Big thing here, too, is he's losing pin count. If you notice, he's got 132 in the 7th with Jimmy 137 in the 6th. And that's 5 pins that he's lost just in pin count with getting 8 pins or 7 pins rather than 9 as Jim's been doing.
That's one time he didn't pick. Well, here he is. Got 1 foot on the door.
As I look around, we've got quite a crowd here today with us.
Yeah, what you're seeing there is to our left, but they're strung all the way down to our right. I'd say down to lane, 20-something maybe, around lane 20.
We're in the Kentucky Bluegrass area.
Come on now, carry one.
Oh, another one.
That's hard to believe. Bob, are you sure that isn't nailed down there?
I'm sure that Jimmy thinks it's nailed. It's a little disheartening. About the only thing that can keep him going straight is he is up. And they're not quite so hard to take when you're 20-some pins up.
Well, he's up by 24 right at the moment, 156 to 132.
That one pin that he had can shoot blindfolded, as I said earlier. He has been shooting it all. Every spare has been the 10 pin. Frame number 9. Strikes as scarce as hen's teeth. Where did that expression ever come from, huh?
I don't know, but I've heard it the last 20 years on this program quite a bit, Jack.
Really? 20 years?
20 years.
He's been here a long time.
I heard that when I was a youngster, too.
That's more than 20 years ago, Jack.
Just about. There it is. By golly. There was a strike left in that ball. I used to hear my father say that. Scarce as hen's teeth. I think that was about the one that solidified matters. Now they come for Chris. But they're coming too late, I'm afraid.
Afraid so. 24 pins, I think, is going to be a little bit too much for him to make up.
Well, Jim would need to be a mark in the 10th, providing Chris would strike out even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finally, Chris said...
Chris can get 212, and Jim's on a 216 basis.
Yeah.
That's all. All they can get is 92. So what you got to do? Jim doesn't even have to mark.
That's right.
All he needs is a pin count.
So the manager of Kingpin remains our king. So it's 172 through 9, 92 if he tacks 10.
You know, Jimmy Lyle said he likes some $600 checks, Jack.
I don't blame him.
Second place ain't too bad, 300.
No, I should say not.
Big things, that 600 per makes
Yeah.
into 900 or 1,200 next week.
91 for Chris, but he went all the way today. Won his first two, went into the final game against Jimmy Lyle, but that turkey from the third through the fourth was the undoing.
He rolled 580 for 3 games. Respectable.
And Bob, your prognostication in the, golly, I can go all the way back to the second frame, I guess, of the first game, when you said it's not going to be high scoring today. How true?
No, that's the way it looked in practice. And, you know, some days this just seems like everybody's got it together and the scores are big, and other days it just seems like the opposite's true.
And he failed every frame.
It ain't bad, Jim. 5 for 5 on them 10 pins. He can shoot that thing in his sleep.
Let's see, 216 if he
216.
bangs one home.
Looking over our sheets, Jack, I think these bowlers have had a total of 10 300s between them. So, you know, we've got quality people out there.
2-1-3, the winner and still king, Jimmy Lyles. We'll be right back. The winner and still king, he kicked that winning field goal in the waning moments, Jim Lyles, ladies and gentlemen. Before I make the presentation, I'm going to have to give our winner of the drawing made by our king, because if not, I'd forget all about it. Who won the Greater Cincinnati U.S. Open qualifier last year? It was Don Scudder. The drawing was made by Jim. A gift certificate from Carl's Bowler's Paddock to Fred Kahn of Beekman Street. And Sam, you take this, because I always put them in my pocket and I go home with them.
I'll take care of it.
Oh, take care of it. All right, here we go. Quickly. Alan, that was the suicide line today. I didn't think you would shoot that, but you did great in qualifying. But this will ease the pain. $125. Alan Downs. And I told you, look what you'd have had today. You could have had yourself about $32,000 had you gone down for a tryout with the Bengals. What can you say?
Yeah,
Big Bill, there's a check for $200. How's that?
Thanks a lot.
Been a pleasure. We'll see both of you fellows back. Chris, luck just ran out on the waning moments.
Well,
What can you
didn't
say?
run out. I didn't bowl a good game last game.
Oh, yes, you did. You were in the area.
Well, didn't work out.
Jim, we'll see you next week. King, congratulations again. Another check for $600.
Thanks very much.
Bob, as usual, it's great to have you on as guest commentator.
Thank you, Jack, and go Bengals.
Oh, you're so right. Sam, we'll see you
Bengals.
next week.
Orange and black and Pontiac.
You notice. Now, well, we didn't predict the winner, but our king remains Jim Lyle, who's going to come back tomorrow as the kings of football. You're so right. There it is. Go Bengals. As usual, our first appearance ever at Super Bowl. We're going to be back here many, many times in years to come, and we really love it here. You've been a grand and glorious audience. Good afternoon from the Super Bowl.